Today we're going to be demoing our Inspect on Fire app that integrates an iPad with Salesforce and allows inspectors to perform inspections in the field with or without internet capabilities. If they are offline, the data will load once they have an online signal and access the app again. If they are online while performing the inspections, it is real time and the results are uploaded immediately. You'll see we just logged into our app and we can see all of our sites that have inspections associated to them. We also have the ability to filter out sites based on typing in the site name. It'll bring back any items that meet our search criteria. We also have the ability to have some pre-configured list views, such as sites with my inspection. So I'm the inspector currently logged in, and this will display any sites that have inspections assigned to just me, as well as sites with any inspections that haven't been performed yet. And below we also have a map that maps out all of our site locations. Today we're going to be working with South Denver Elementary. When we access a site, you'll see that there's a list of site visits. A site visit represents a group of inspections scheduled on a specific date for a specific location. You'll also see that we have a history of site visits that have occurred. Anyone that's in green means it's been complete. This allows inspectors to view historical data while on a site. Today we'll work with July 9th. We now view inspection categories, so our inspections are grouped into categories, and then once we select a category, we can see all the inspections that have to be performed in that category. We've already done building construction, but today we'll also do membrane structures and tents. When we select our inspection template, we then can view questions associated to this inspection. We have different values: pass, partial acceptance, fail, approved by a third party, and not applicable. These question types are configurable. You have the option to do multi-select pick lists, you can do radio buttons, you can do checkboxes. In our case, we need the ability to capture specific failures. So if a user selects fail, they have a list of values that they can select from that indicate the specific failure. You could also customize this to maybe indicate specific fire code violations. Approved by a third party allows you to enter in the name of an inspector and their inspector number if someone else did that specific inspection. Now if we go back, you'll notice that we had inspection actions. Well, we did an inspection action for our building construction. This allows you to capture notes, pictures, additional information for the inspection that wasn't captured in just the questions that you were answering. So here we took a picture of our problem, and you'll notice that the picture can be viewed while in the app. So if there was something specific like a sprinkler head or something wrong with a door frame, you could capture that picture and annotate it so that other inspectors can see the issue. This picture is also attached to the record in Salesforce. Our back button allows us to continue to go back in the app. So now that we've finished our inspections for the day, we can complete our site visit and capture our time entry. So as an inspector, I can indicate the amount of hours that I was on site and for the specific date. So we were on site for 5 hours. And I can also select if it's on site, travel, or overtime. When we click Save, this creates a time entry record in Salesforce for us. We also have the ability to capture signatures. So sometimes you need to capture a site contact, an inspector signature, maybe a supervisor signature. And then lastly, this complete site visit just completes our status on our site visit, which then determines if re-inspections are required and updates additional data in Salesforce. So I'm just going to click Complete. You'll notice at the top that our status just went from incomplete to complete. If we go back, it is now turned green. So now we're going to go into Salesforce and see how this data looks. Here is our site visit that we were just working with. You'll notice our 3 inspections that we had below. I'm going to refresh the page. And you'll notice that all of the statuses on these inspections have been updated to fail, re-inspection needed. That means that at least one question in the inspection had a failure. So if we select the inspection, we can see our results. If we go down here, you'll see all of the responses that were created, our pass values, and our failures. And if we come all the way down here, you'll notice that there's a reinspection that was automatically created for this inspection. This now allows our schedulers to schedule a new inspector to go out on site to do this reinspection, and it also clones all of these result values so that when the inspector's on site, they don't have to address the issues that have already passed. We also have the ability to create a inspections report that lists all the failures. You have the ability to have this automatically emailed to specific site contacts or whomever on site needs to get a copy of the report. Here we have a sample of one that was emailed from a previous inspection. It will create the report with all of the failures, and when the site status is complete, it will automatically email, attaching the inspections report. We can then download it and view our report. So you can see all of the failures that we had grouped into the categories that they belong to, which allows the site to address the issues that failed, so when the reinspection occurs that they pass. That is our inspection app. Thank you. Today we're going to be demoing our permit application and inspection request process. Currently we are on the registration page, which a permit applicant would access in order to create a username and login before creating their permit application. Here we're going to be registering George Washington. After clicking the submit button, George would receive an email with a link to his username and password. After setting up his password, he'll then be taken into the system where he can then apply for a permit. Here's the email that the user receives, and now George can click his link, create a password, and after clicking save, he'll be taken into the system. From here, George can view permits, permit inspections, and invoices that are associated to his user. Currently there's nothing associated to him, but he does have the option to create a new permit application. From here, George has several tabs where he can fill out information associated to his permit application. He has the ability to select an existing site, which will then populate information for that site so that he doesn't have to re-enter it. After clicking through the rest of the tabs and submitting his application, the system will create an invoice for his permit, and then it will go through what we call the plan review process, which is what determines the inspections that are needed for the project. Here we have an already approved permit, and when a permit is approved, there's an email that gets sent to the permit owner as well as any other site contacts associated to the project with a copy of the permit and the inspections that are needed. Here we have a sample of the permit that the user received. Down here we'll view our permit that's attached to the email, and this is what the user can then print off and display at their project construction site. Here you'll see you have the permit number, specific address information associated to it, and if we scroll down, we can see all of the inspections that will be required in order to complete the project. When the user is ready to start requesting inspections for their project, they would log back into the community, which in our case will be Jessica, and Jessica's got many projects associated to her. Now as we log in as Jessica, we can see all of the permits that are associated to her. If we select a permit, we have the ability to view the specific inspections associated to the permit. For 51, we can see there's about 10 inspections that are associated to this site. If Jessica is ready to request them, then she can select one or many inspections, and then if she selects request inspections, she has the ability to select the preferred booking window of when she would like the inspectors to come on site to perform those inspections. We'll select tomorrow through the end of the week. If Jessica chooses not to enter in another preferred start and end date if she has multiple inspections, then the system will populate all of the selected inspections with the same preferred start and end date as the first inspection. After clicking submit, this will update our status to requested, and internally, our inspectors would be notified that there's a new inspection that's been requested, and they have the ability to then go in and schedule it, and then they would go into our inspections app in order to perform the inspections. Lastly, Jessica has the ability to see any invoices that are associated to her, and from the invoices she can make payments. And that is all for today. Thanks.